Hello friends, it's me again. I found myself yesterday, as you know, posting in the group that I don't want to write a theory. Just don't feel like this, it's too dead. In the same day, I found myself recording 2 videos and found that this was a much more alive and easy to transmit thing than writing it down and making it maybe more alive, maybe reducing the impression that there's actual stability in this. So I thought, talking with some people who watch the videos and who like them, maybe, hopefully, I don't know, that our 5 points that we had in the poll, and as I said, I wanted to go through them from top to down, bottom. Instead of writing about it, very complicated, very hard to read, I would just like try to talk about them like this. And so this is supposed to be the first video of this series, or how you want to call it. And so the topic is thought in general. This is a very broad topic, and I have no agenda whatsoever. So I just try to report what is seen and understood about thought, and maybe you can benefit from it or see the foundation of it. And so I've asked myself how to begin with it, because actually from one point of view one could say all that we know normally in our normal everyday reality is thought, basically. And this is not a metaphor, like we are only seeing ourselves as long as we identify with the ego. What is like a strange term, I know, but this is thought. As long as we identify with thought, all you see is thought. And I would try to embrace this topic, even though there might be probably a lot of questions, and I'm quite sure I will not cover it completely now because it's a broad topic with a lot of chances for misunderstanding. And yeah. But yeah, first of all, how to start? Maybe we can say, of course, I think all of you are aware of this talking voice in your head, which is constantly giving some comments or stuff like this. And normally we think that is us. Some people, like, they can even see, they can observe it, still there's the feeling that it somehow is connected to us and that it has some relevance, some reality to it. This is like a very graspable, that's what we normally say when we think about thought. We say it is thought, but thought is a much deeper process, much more holistic process. Actually is like, yeah, as I said, forming our everyday reality. And maybe to see how the mind deals with thought, or how the mind is thought, we can say, first of all, can we see the image forming tendency of the mind? That is, yeah, maybe we try not to make this only a talk, but also to make a meditation out of it, because actually this is not the difference. When we inquire into things, we try to see them as they are, and this is exactly the same as meditation. So talk like this can be meditation. Sitting quietly, observance can be meditation. Meditation can be in every second and will be your nature at some point when you go into it and allow it. And so, the image forming tendency of the mind. Let's say you sit in meditation. Maybe let's do it right now as you see this. And you observe, and there probably is a lot of noise going on. Maybe a feeling of discomfort or some conflict, some struggle inside of you. This is most of the time, actually no, all the time the case. Besides, we have some high feeling, but this will fade. Normally we are in a conflict. There's a conflict going on. Some fear, some loneliness, something like this. As we sit in meditation now, we observe and we try to be quiet. What is quite a tricky thing. But now, for example, as I sit here, I can hear the rain outside. It's raining here. And as the sound of the rain approaches, in the second where the sensation, where the perception takes place, you can see quite literally, because most of us are visual people, our primary sense is the visual sense. So normally when we say reality, we talk about the visual representation that we perceive. So you can see, hearing the sound of the rain, how your mind will basically immediately make an image from it, quite literally. Maybe you can see some gray clouds, something like this. And like, it's not only a visual thing, it's more like a holistic symbol representing whatever rain means to you. And that's where the trick begins, because in this second, the ego, the mind, the thought takes over. So there is this perception, the pure perception of whatever it is. And immediately there will be a picture, it will be formed, and it will be judged according to you, to your ego. That is your experience, your memory, basically. Thought in general can be seen as a movement of the past. The past in the sense of memory. So whatever experiences, whatever opinion on rain you have, you will rarely be able to just hear the sound of the rain without naming it, without making a picture from it and comparing it instantly, because this is the very nature of thought. It's always comparing, mostly with time, with the past or the future. In this case it might be like, I like rainy days, I don't like rainy days, I wish tomorrow would not be a rainy day, I'm sad that today is a rainy day because I cannot go outside. So you see, that's all I. And also it is also always based on some past experiences. So you cannot say I like rain or I don't like rainy days if you don't have no memory of some earlier experiences with rain, that you don't kind of like it. This judgment as well, that you don't like it, is also part of the past. It is not part of the actuality. If it is raining or not is not good or bad as such. It is only judged as good or bad according to the past, to your own experiences, to your own memory, and maybe some opinion which forms from this memory. Because this is how the past and thought, and maybe you can see, maybe I make a short jump now, because this is a good point to see that thought and time, as we usually perceive it, are actually the same movement. And this is not meant metaphorically. Often when I speak like this about these things, I'm not speaking in metaphors. This is very clear language, and I hope it will perceive very clear, because there's nothing complicated about it actually. So time is the movement of thought. Maybe we can take a moment and just try to see this. Try to see, everybody, I guess, will have at this second when you watch the video, there's something going on inside of you. Some suffering, maybe some hurt from the past, maybe some fear from the future. And you can see that all of this is only possible if you connect it with time. So thought is the response of time. It is the accumulated memory, maybe from past experience. May they be real or not, that doesn't really make any difference. What is real is actually really a difficult thing to say. But it is like this, and this is a fact, that all your reactions, all your judgments, all your perceptions, after the thought created an image from it, are bound to time, and in a time-based context. So in this way we can say time is some kind of a trap, but maybe I go too quick now. Okay, let's go one step slower. So you have this movement of time. You have the rain coming in. You can observe the moment, the second where the mind creates an image from it, quite literally, some kind of a symbol, and then it says, oh, I think rain like this or this. I don't know. There's coming a judgment, and from this there's an intention. An intention also implies time, again, because it is thought. Thought and time always go together. So when you have an intention, what is an intention? An intention is actually a sign of avoidance of actuality. You want it to be different than it is, but this is quite a strange thing, because before we actually because we already strive away from what is, we already have an intention before we even take our time to just let it be like it is. And maybe it might be that this perception that there's something wrong, that most of us share, what is, for example, called the original sin in the Christian tradition, and it has much more other words, like Maya in the Hindu tradition, whatever it is. Maybe the perception that there is something wrong is only because thought compares everything with time. And time, again, is accumulated memory, and this is what we call knowledge. Knowledge is a collection of images in time. We've gathered them, collected them. The mind, the human mind, is a collecting mind. Like this, we always collect, we always try to add something to us. We don't feel sufficient enough, we get a new car. You don't feel enough love, you get, you surround yourself with a lot of people, whatever it is. So always the solution of the mind is to collect something. So knowledge, again, as we said yesterday, is creating some sense of security. It gives you the idea that there is a stable thing which you can hold on. If you know something, for example, left politics are good and right wing not, then you have something to live for. You can say deny the one side and go for the other one, stuff like this, and this gives us a feeling of identity. But actually this is not really the truth, because time and knowledge are always limited. It can be maybe seen because it is personal. You can only gather that much knowledge, and it will always be connected to past events and to your own experience. So actually you can see also experience is limited. Not only outside knowledge that you get from books and stuff like this, also self-generated knowledge out of experience. So then we're back with the rain. You can remember one day you were outside when it rained, and you get wet, and there was an unpleasant feeling about it. The mind recorded this, made it to a memory, and made out of this the knowledge, I don't like rain. And in this very second you are limited. You will not go outside anymore when there's rain, and you will suffer slightly when it's raining, what of course is complete nonsense, because rain is just a thing as such. There's no suffering in it. It is not bad from out itself as any other things. So judgment, time, and thought is all the same. Intention as well. This is one movement. It's the movement of time, of your personal time. So maybe it can be seen here. No, other way around. Can this be observed? So can you observe all this whole movement of thought, of the ego, saying, I don't like rain, I am not a good person, I am afraid of being lonely? Can we see how this is connected to all of this, to this whole movement of it? And if yes, in this observance, what is meditation? Can it be observed not from the past? So it is not the past looking. Who's the past? Past is thought, we said, but the past is also you. Because any definition of you that you put, saying I am Tobias, I am a German, I am 31 years old, whatever it is, I like this, I like this. As you can see, this is exactly the same. It is a conclusion, accumulated conclusions based on the past, limited knowledge, and then you made a picture out of it, and you say, this is me. And this is the ego, it's not more than this. We really have to get this really clear, that the ego is not something mystical or something like a real thing, really. There's no substance in it. This is what the Buddha said. And what is the big difference between the Buddha and the Hindu traditions. That he said, really, there's no essence in it. There's no core in this sense. Like we have in Christian myth, you have the soul. And there is something like soul, you could say like this. But it actually has no really... It's not a real thing. It is just, and if you look at it, if you observe it, if you're honest with yourself, and this is really an important thing, you will see that it's just this. It's just a random collection of opinions, memories, images. And then you say, and some people, they even go to war for it. So if you say, like, I'm a German, or I'm a Christian, somebody else says I'm a Muslim, then there's conflict already. And this is actually all there is to ego. We are defending these structures, accumulated structures, which give us a sense of identity and security, as we said yesterday. Identification with these thought, memory, knowledge constructs give us some feeling of security, although it is never complete, it's never enough. It never fulfills what it shall fulfill. It never gives us stability, of course not. Because, of course, like, for example, Germany is not a real thing. There's no such thing as Germany. So it will be always threatened. You will have always this imaginary, this fantasy. You will have to protect this fantasy from somebody else who said, this is not, I have the better fantasy than you. And then this is world politics. Look at it. That's all of it. You see? So there's not really all this suffering going on inside of yourself. It is because you identify with thought. That is, the root of the thought is the I thought, is the thought that I am this. Thought is this pictures in my mind. And everything you will compare with this. So if there is a, all of it, if you're conditioned mind, this conditioning is the movement of knowledge and time. Slowly, forming something. Gathering. So when there's, you, for example, now, take a time and look if there's a hurt in you. And I bet there is a hurt in you, because the ego is pain. The ego is postponed suffering which is not taken serious. So there is some hurt in us, maybe from childhood. And if you look at it now, just imagine a person which is close to you, which opinion you value and which is in your heart. Imagine he coming to you and say, I think you're quite, you've changed, you're not a good guy anymore. I don't like you anymore. I think you're an asshole. I will go my way. And there's this feeling of hurt and of humiliation. But if you look at it, and if you think again on our example with the rain, then you see that's quite the same. The rain, the perception of it, here the perception of what this other person says to you, comes and is free of any, it's not good or bad. But then the mind forms an image, and it relates this image of the hurt, who say this is bad, that this person thinks like this, to the self or the ego. It is the same thing. And then it says, I used to know this person so much, and I love so much, I need him in my life, now he doesn't like me anymore, there's suffering now. So, this hurt, when somebody's hurting you, is this really you being hurt? Or is it only this image? This image of who you think you are, of what other people should think about you, and really look at it, see it as an image. It's not you in this sense. So there is no you being hurt. mind, ego thought always reacts only to mind and thought. It has no connection to the outside. So it's not really the perception of this person or the rain making you suffer, making you feel bad. It is the self-created image of the mind referring to the other self-created image of the mind, saying it's me, and then you feel hurt. Can you watch this whole thing as one thing? Can you see it? Can you see it that this is actually going on? And if you can see it, are you this? Take a time to look. Do it now. This is always going on. It's a daily life. It's not something extra, abstract. Say this again. Again, these are not metaphors I'm using. It's quite literal. And there's some kind of miracle going on. I know this is a romantic word and stuff, so don't take it too serious. But as you observe this, and maybe you can recognize that there is no, in this observation, there cannot be motive. Because if you observe this, there cannot be intention. Because this is not a thing. You, as the observer, as the formless observer, this is one of the spiritual terms, very shady term. But as the formless observer, you don't have no choice. You only see what is. You cannot filter it. You can say this is right and wrong. I want it like this or like this. Because this entity judging like this, thought, is seen. Isn't it? And if it is seen, there's this miracle going on. If you really recognize this deeply, truly, not making an image and saying, I think it is like this, you're back in the same. See? But if you really can see this, be aware of it, look at it in this whole thing, and recognize that you are not this. There's a movement in this observance. This thing will not lose its grasp. There's no reality to it, and you will recognize immediately. And this recognizing is a timeless recognizing. You don't have to learn it. You can see it immediately. And this is what we call having an insight. Having an insight, looking into the thing, is a timeless thing. You can do it right now. You can do it at every second. We just don't do it because we're so sucked up in the stream of time and thoughts. It's always carrying. It's like tripping, actually. If some people of you are familiar with psychedelic trip, you take the substance and just take you away, tell you some story. As soon as you have a thought and it comes like a rise and you touch it, you attach to it, it carries you away. You go tripping for some time. Maybe you find yourself back in war, fighting for Germany on some battlefield. What kind of trip is this? You see? It's not the truth. So this, having an insight, is, as you can see, might be confused with intuition. And one can say it is intuition, but it is a dangerous word, the intuition. Because there's another form of intuition. And we are very good in the ego. The ego is very good in masking itself. It always will try to kind of take you away from this realization that you are not that, because it loses its grasp immediately, completely. You're free then. In this very second, there's nothing mystical or complicated about it. The seeing itself frees you from the attachment of it. If you see the attachment, if you see it whole, movement in time, to whom it is attached, that is the same, you see all this. It just has no relevance. So intuition, it sometimes feels like, yeah, we have this intuition, I should do this now. But there's no should. And intuition often, or what we call like this, is often fueled from not recognized, not admitted desires or fears. And we kind of use this intuition thing as an apologetic movement to say, like, yeah, this is my true heart. True heart has no intention. It doesn't need anything. So be sure if there is a need that is not that. Learn to really see that there is the movement of needing something. There's a movement away from actuality. Actuality meaning just that what is, like here, sitting here at this table. This camera in front of me. This now stopping rain, the sun coming out. This is this. Without, if you don't form an image, this is the actuality. There's no suffering in this. I beg you to really try this and not just believe it. Go and sit and try if you can see this. But there is actually, there's freedom. And freedom is not that you can do what you want, because there's no wanting. Freedom is freedom from desire. Freedom from attachment. It is an inner freedom, not so much an outer one. You can be completely free in a prison cell. So don't be too quick to act. Take your time when you perceive things. For example, you go shopping, to see how your mind works, and try this, as I said, rain coming in, the perception of it, pure perception, not judged, not valued, there's no image of it. And then immediately thought springs in, forms an image, and compares it to the rest, and the struggle begins. Can you enlarge the gap? Can you see this gap between perception and where the mind starts to take over? And that mind is a closed system in itself. It cannot really, it has no contact to reality. It only has contact to itself and the reflected images of it. You will judge everything that comes across. You would say, this is good, this is bad, I like this, I don't like this. You're limiting yourself all the time. And it hurts very much, because it's not our true nature, this is thought. And I beg you to really observe this going on, because this is a real thing. This is not a theory. And it's not a thing what can only be acquired with a lot of practice. It is like this anyway. You can recognize it or not. If you don't recognize it, there's the suffering. So, this is the surface of thought. Even thought is much deeper, even the working of the sense organs. Is seeing really a thing of the eye? Is not the reality, this what we call optical visual representation of, is it not already thought? Is it not already based on interpretation? So is seeing really a thing which comes from your sense organs? Or is seeing something else, like a active perception? Cannot also the working of the sense organs be seen? You know, you are not the body as such. The brain is part of the body. Then the brain creates all this repetitive time-based movement. All this is the brain, the memory stored and giving it away. If you look at the neocortex, it is the same structure again and again. Some kind of a RAM, like in a computer. Only thing it makes is like time. Holding time, projecting time, creating some image and fantasies from it for which you then strive. And all this is a way from this, what you're actually looking for. And this is the big joke. And again, we maybe can include the distinction we made yesterday. Because of course, if you want to be a good carpenter, it is a time-based process, as we said. You need some practice. And it will be a process in time. But this other thing, what we're looking for inside, on the inside, the love, this desperation that is in us, the loneliness to it, is it really achievable like this? We're moving away from all this, or is it your very nature and you're already here? And you just need to recognize like this. Ramana Maharshi, big master of Advaita Vedanta, I can recommend very strongly. He say like the ego is not a real thing, just like this. It is like, you know, you have the sun, this mighty sun, like it fuels all the life. It is like, but you can like cover it like this camera now, only with a thumb. And now you will think the thumb is all there is, but the thumb is such a small thing. But it's also, because you look like this, able to cover the whole sun. Ego like this, ego is like this. So it is actually a little bit funny to see when you step outside this, that thought is all our reality, all the human endeavor, all these wars going on, all this struggling and striving and the millennia of culture and symbolism, you know? All this is the mind, all this is thinking. If you step outside, you can see how little, how small the world is. If you only move inside this, if you only believe this to be the only reality, or to be reality. So, I know there's quite a lot of information now. I can see that there might be some time necessary, but I really say to you, it is not so much a thing to think about it, but to sit with it and observe with it. Take your time and be quiet. Because if you see all this truly, the mind will shut up by itself. And this is the thing, you cannot control, you cannot quiet the mind by force, because who is doing it? Again, there's an intention in it. Again, there's thought in it. It's controller trying to control the mind. It's impossible. But it shuts up by itself without any effort. If you see this movement as a whole, and if you see that it just doesn't make any sense as such, that it doesn't lead anywhere. And for the weekend, maybe this is not a theory, it is a real thing, and it's realized in the actual practice of it, and the actual looking at it. And so I ask you to really take this stuff to the test and see for yourself if what you hear here and what you read so often from many sources, if it is true, and see if it applies to you as well. And don't stop when it hurts or something like this. Like, see the whole movement of it. See that as well the things perceived as the perceiver, the person perceiving it, with all this reaction and fears and like there's something, and you don't want it and all this, that all this is taking place and you can observe it. And as you observe it, as you realize that this can be observed, often this is shadow. You think, I cannot see it, and at the same time you say, I heard, but I cannot see it. But as you say, of course you, otherwise you could not say. So who are you? What is this observing? And is there a center in it? Is there like something like a center, like a person looking at it? Or is it just awareness in which all these things play and go? And is there a choice at all? Is there something to do? Or is this just who you are? And all the rest is just samsara, even if this is an idiotic word. We must be careful with this kind of words, but I like the word. So if now the weekend comes and tomorrow is Sunday, don't hurry from one thing to another. Start by minding the gaps, like recognizing the gaps between the perception of things and the reaction that memory puts, thought puts. See the gaps in thinking, in this constant stream of thinking, and recognize the quietness, the silence. And try to realize more and more that this is your position, one could say like this. It's not so much you're not the thought, you're behind it, giving it the space. You're the space, like the sky is needed for the clouds. You could not see the cloud movement if there wasn't a sky. You are not the cloud. You are more the sky. Even this is dangerous to say, but because maybe you will make say like, I'm the sky, I'm the sky. This is not what is meant, right? You just realize it. Don't paint a picture out of it. Sit and take your time, be quiet. It needs some solitude in the beginning. It needs some meditation practice in the beginning. This will fade. The effort will fade because we will just realize that it is like this. But in the beginning, we cannot expect that if we obtain worldly things, that we just go on as we did, follow our conditionings, follow our desires. That will just like clear out itself because now we have understand it. Understanding is a knowledge thing, is a rational thing. You have to be it. You have to feel it. We will take some time, take some practice. I promise you, really very quickly, if you look at the right way, it will become effortless and it will become your true nature, and your life will be a beauty, because this struggling and this hurt is just not there anymore, because it doesn't make a sense. It's not a thing. It's not a real thing. And even it can be there, it will still not touch you. You have always been like this, unchanged, unborn, untouched, unheard, ever complete. And this is your true heart. Find this warm heart here, in the center of the solar plexus. Find it here and rest in it, be in it. And that is all there is. Mind will say, what's next? There's no next. That's it. And from this, action will take place by itself. You don't need ever again put any effort in your life. And this is truth. And this is going beyond thought. And I hope you find who you are in this life. May you be blessed. And thank you.